Hello everyone, welcome in. We are gearing up for the start of the competitive season. That is right. Welcome everyone to the new episode of the Spartan Army Podcast, which is proudly brought to you by Jafs Decorating Services. On this week's edition of the Spartan Army Podcast, we've got you all covered from our Spartans Women's team as they kicked off their Sky Sports campaign. We hear from Captain Robyn along with new signings who are with Alice. We look back in terms of Premier Sports League Cup action against Montrose and Dundee United, and we look forward to the new SPFL William Hill League 2 season as Mark catches up with Ayrton Sonkur and more from the Spartans camp. That's all to come on this week's edition of the Spartan Army Podcast. Spartan season tickets are now on sale. Get yours today and enjoy access to over 40 league games featuring our under-20s, men's and women's teams this season. Head to spartansfc.com or to the Fanbase app to get your season ticket today and play your part. So let's start off with the Spartans Women then. Lots to talk about. Let's hear from the club captain Robyn who spoke with Alice.
So Robyn, what are your thoughts on keeping the armband for your third season?
Yeah, I'm obviously delighted. I think everyone knows how special this club is to me. The staff, the players, everyone involved with this football club. So yeah, it's another proud moment for me, but one that I'm really looking forward to again this season.
And can you sum up your feelings for this upcoming season in 3 words?
Excited, ready, challenge.
And what is the best piece of football advice you've ever received?
I think just to keep working hard, just keep your head down and don't get too high and don't get too low. I think it's a journey, football, and you never really know what's around the corner. And you go from one game to the next, so it's important that you stay focused and you don't let the emotions get too much of you or get the better of you.
And can you sum up Spartans in 1 word?
Special.
And what is your go-to pre-match song?
Red light spells danger.
Well, before the new season got underway, Alice also caught up with our 3 new signings to get to know their name, their previous clubs, their positions, and then the questions were asked, what they are most looking forward to for this season, the best goal they've ever scored, and 1 word to describe them as a player.
Neve Noble, left back, and I was at Aberdeen but on loan at Dundee United.
Freya Bryan, Burymere, and centre mid.
My name's Tina. I play forward. I can play either striker or wing. Previous club was Partick Thistle.
Probably playing like an SWPL one again, challenging ourselves against like the best clubs in the country.
Playing with all the girls and playing at the stadium.
Playing in the team that is coming up from the SWPL 2, and I think being within the underdog name and like showing other teams that we are in it for the winning spot.
There's not many to pick from. Probably I scored like a long range goal against Gartcairn in the Scottish Cup. I think it was a year ago, so I like that one.
Scottish Cup final against Celtic with Hearts.
There was a game I played in South Africa. I think it was roughly like the 80th minute. I came on as a sub and it was 0-0, and a second touch of the ball I chipped the goalkeeper from like just before the halfway line. So yeah, home ground. Good.
Determined.
Creative.
I don't know this one, man. I don't know, to be fair. I'll just say calm.
So let's have a look at Spartans Women then, and they are up and running in their competitiveness. It is back where they belong, into the SWPL 1. That is to come, and looking forward to that all kicking off with a home tie on the 16th of August up against Partick Thistle. Just like the men's, you can get your season ticket via the Fanbase app or in person on match day games. But let's have a look at the result over the past weekend and fixtures upcoming, because Spartans kicking off their campaign in the Sky Sports Cup, and of course a huge new format which I previously went into in our pre-season podcast. This one was an away trip to Queen's Park. Of course, some really good games last year against Queen's Park. Queen's Park doing Spartans a favour at the end of last season as well, which made possible and most incredible and exciting final day at the Vanlock Community Stadium, where Spartans would go on to lift the SWPL 2 League title on that famous day at Ainsley Park. But focusing on this year, and it was that Sky Sports League Cup campaign away to Queen's Park to get us underway. This is a league phase, of course. 4 games in this league phase, 2 away, 2 at home, and this was the first away game to Queen's Park in Kirkintilloch, and it was the home side that started off strongly, and in the 23rd minute they were rewarded as they opened the game, got the opening goal of the game, I should say, and to be honest, they should have made it 2 in the 27th minute. Their effort just travelling wide of the mark. Half-time fell, and it was 1-0 to the hosts, but Spartans came out flying. A free kick just on the edge of the box as a Young was fouled, and Niamh Noble, on her first appearance for the club, said, I'm going to take this free kick, and the free kick she took, and it went right into the top corner, and Niamh Noble got her first goal on her first appearance for the Spartans. Nothing else to shout about for the rest of the game. Finished 1-1. Each team gets a point apiece. However, with the Sky Sports Cup, very similar to what we see in the Premier Sports Cup, the game goes to penalty for a bonus point. First up, Robyn McCafferty, the captain, leading by example, and she slotted her penalty home. Queen's Park, respectively, then missed their penalty, and Spartans had the opportunity to go 2 in front. However, Natalie Bandura's effort was saved by the Queen's Park goalkeeper. Queen's Park then scored their penalty. Murdo then stepped up and slotted her penalty home, and then it was up to step Alicia Yates, who made sure that Queen's Park could not draw level, and they missed their second penalty of the game. From then, Spartans scored every single penalty that they had to take. Emily Caddell and then Olivia Hurl winning it and getting the extra bonus point for Spartans as they come away from Kirkintilloch with 2 points and sit mid-table in this league phase of the Sky Sports Cup. What's coming up next then for Spartans? Well, Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff, they take on Boroughmuir Thistle, and then on Wednesday against Renfrew. Remember, season tickets are not valid for the cup game, but you can get your tickets now via the Fanbase app or also on our website. That's at SpartansFCWomen.com, or follow us on social media platform X at Spartans FC Women. Much more to come on the Spartans Women in the upcoming weeks as the SWPL 1 campaign gets going, and we look forward to seeing them where they belong as the SWPL 2 League 2 champions take their place in the SWPL 1.
Hi, Spartans Women's Captain Robyn McCafferty here. Thank you for listening to the Spartans Army Podcast, brought to you by Jafs Decorating Services.
That's right, perfect opportunity for you to pick up your match day season tickets for our SWPL and SPFL side. You can get yours now on the Fanbase app, or alternatively on match day at the Vanlock Community Stadium. Lots more to come on the Spartan Army Podcast, brought to you by Jafs Decorating Services, including looking back now on the ending of our Premier Sports Cup campaign this season. Of course, 2 fixtures at home, followed by 2 fixtures away. That 2 fixtures at home, a defeat to Arbroath and to fellow League 2 side Stirling. Spartans then travelled to Tannadice to take on Premiership side Dundee United. We've already faced Dundee United this calendar year, and it is Spartans taking on Jim Goodwin's side again. We have previously met in this competition back in 2023, where Blair Henderson scored the only goal to give Spartans a famous victory in their first ever outing as an SPFL club, beating Jim Goodwin's side by 1-0. Things were a bit different. However, Spartans played the first 25 minutes exceptionally well, created some opportunities, and really looked to, puncture the Dundee United defence. However, the ball fell to Lachlan Rose in the 26th minute, and the 27-year-old Australian fired home to give Dundee United the lead. Spartans kept it respectable at half-time, 1-0, and a host of changes for Spartans at halftime. Jordan Tappin, Mark McNulty, Mark Stowe all making their way off for Brogan Walls, Mackenzie Ross and a trialist. The game was scrappy up until the 64th minute, and that man again, Lachlan Rose, scoring his second goal off the game, of course, signed on a free deal, I should say, from the Newcastle Jets of Australia to Dundee United, and him getting his second goal in front of a Tannadice crowd, just over 2,500 inside. Just around 10 minutes later, Dylan Tate made it 3, and then right on the 90th minute mark, Zach Sapsford gave Spartans a 4-0 defeat on the road to Tannadice. Lots of positive play though, however, to great opposition in Dundee United. So it teed up the table with Dundee United needing that win against us and hoping that Spartans could get a result at Lynx Park the following Saturday, and Spartans did exactly that. A great result at League One opposition Montrose, who, if they won the match, they would have went through as well. So it was all to play for and got started off really well. James Cragen, our captain for this season, stepped up from just outside the box, a free kick, dead ball situation, looped it over the wall and right into Gill's top right-hand corner for Spartans to take the lead. And then it was the 77th minute and a landmark occasion for Mackenzie Ross, getting his first a goal in Spartans colours on the 77th minute to give Spartans a 2-0 victory. A really confident booster for Spartans going into the SPFL campaign this weekend. Mark Brown caught up with Ayrton Sonkur on what that result meant for the lads.
Obviously to bow out the competition, but great to get a win in the last game of the group stages, but also our first ever win up at Montrose.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, Montrose have won 3 out of 3 before today, and they're needing a point to go through, so they had it all to play for. So I think for us to come here and get a result and a clean sheet like that, it's really impressive and something we're really proud of.
And it was quite an impressive performance from us from start to finish. Talk us through just how that kind of game flew through and how we delivered those 3 points.
Well, I think over the last few weeks we've had boys with injuries, including myself, so we've had a bit of a stop-start pre-season in terms of getting the squad together for the last few games. So I think that made a difference today. We had a full group, a full squad, 18 boys there, and we got to really implement stuff that we've been working on the last few weeks, and it came to fruition on the pitch.
And that bodes us well, hopefully, for our first game of the new season next week, and another tricky away tie. This time it's away to Annan. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a lot of fun memories there as well from playing there. We know how hard it's going to be. We've got a really good squad as always. It's always a tough place to go, so it's a real baptism of fire first game. But we're fully confident after today, and we'll get a good weekend.
Thank you for listening to the Spartans Army Podcast, brought to you by Jafs Decorating Services.
So William Hill, SPFL football is back this weekend, and it is Spartans who take on Annan in the opening of the League 2 fixtures. What an incredible task Spartans have in the 4th season in the SPFL, and this Saturday's meeting marks a 54th competitive clash between the two sides. The very first encounter dates all the way back to September in 1983 in the Scottish Qualifying Cup, and it was Spartans who came out on top that day, claiming an impressive 4-2 victory at Galabank. Interestingly, these teams have met on the opening day of the season 3 times before, all during their East of Scotland Football League days. The first came in 1990, once again actually at Galabank, where a solo goal from Colin Campbell secured a 1-0 victory for the team. A year later, it was a case of deja vu. This time, however, the sides met at City Park, with Millen Govan and Mark Thompson adding another scoring as Spartans ran out 3-1 victors on that occasion. And then the last competitive meeting on opening day arrived in 2003, and what a game it was. A remarkable 9-goal thriller saw Spartans triumph by 6-3. Robyn Mason, Phil Hobbins both grabbed doubles. Donald Henretti and Ian Thompson also on the score sheet that day. And of course, there is one moment supporters on both sides will never forget, and that's going back to 2008, 18 years ago now, when Annan Athletic won the vote to join the Scottish Football League, earning promotion at the expense of course, Spartans and several other clubs. But Spartans responded later that very season with a little revenge by knocking Annan out of the Scottish Cup thanks to a 2-1 victory at Galabank, with Gavin Mallon and Ross Archibald scoring on that occasion. So how does that stack up in terms of overall head-to-head meetings? Well, across 53 competitive meetings, Spartans have edged with 29 wins, 13 draws and 12 defeats. They've scored an impressive 112 goals while conceding 80 of them. And when it comes to the trips to Galabank, the record is equally encouraging, with 28 visits, Spartans winning 12 of them, losing 8, drawing 8, scoring 49 and conceding 47. History certainly suggests we're in for another fascinating game this Saturday down at Galabank. And of course, the last time that these sides met at Galabank, it was a 2-0 win for Spartans. Jordan Tappin and Mark McNulty getting on the score sheet. Having a look back at other games last season, McNulty actually scored a hat-trick when you look back on the game last February. Mark Stowe getting one of his 27th competitive goals last season. Spartans actually won 3 games against Annan Athletic last year and drew the other one with Tommy Muir scoring early on and James Craigan scoring in that game as well. So a lot to look forward to this Saturday. Keep up to date with everything going on at Spartans FC, or if you can join us down at Galabank, you can get your tickets now from Annan Athletic. Well, our first home league game comes against Edinburgh City on the 8th of August, and hospitality tickets are now available. It's your chance to get this in the diary. Hospitality packages include a pre-match meal, either a cash bar or an inclusive bar, matchday programme, matchday team sheet, seats in the centre of the main stand, half-time teas, coffees and pies, a guest speaker before the game with a Q&A session, Spartans FC gift for all guests, and much, much more. To book, get in touch with Graham Carbis on LinkedIn or on our website, or give him an email. That's graham.carbis@spartansfc.com.
Before the game this Saturday, I managed to catch up with Ayrton Sonkur ahead of this William Hill SPFL League 2's clash with Annan Athletic.
Ayrton, thanks for joining us. First of all, Premier Sports campaign has come to an end. Some defeats, but we signed off with a win against a League One opposition as well. How was that game on Saturday just past?
I think it was really positive. I think we showed a lot of good signs, both on and off the ball. A lot of things that we've worked on in pre-season in terms of going forward and how we want to play with the ball and how we want to hurt teams. I think we showed a lot of that, which was really good to see. And then off the ball, again, probably following on as well from the game on the Tuesday at Tannadice, which I know ended up we've seen 4 goals, but I think for a good 45 minutes to an hour, we looked really good in our shape, and our structure off the ball and our distances and stuff like that, which again I thought on Saturday was really good. So lots of good signs to take into the league campaign.
And you said obviously after the game, it's the first time that the full group have been together as such on a match day, and that helps for the squad, and obviously training in pre-season as well, and to play opposition like Dundee United, it gets us into a good place for the season, for the league campaign anyway, to start. And it's your 4th SPFL campaign with the Spartans, and away tie at an old club of yours as well. So Annan's always a tricky place to go, never easy games in League 2. How do you and the lads go with the game this Saturday?
Well, like you say, I think it's a cliche, but every game's actually so hard in this league, and every season it seems to get even harder. So any away game is going to be difficult, but obviously off the back of last week, we've got to take confidence from how we played, and the result and the clean sheet and all the sort of positives that I just spoke about. So, we're in a good place, and we feel good about ourselves, and we need to take that into Saturday. We're excited by it, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get a positive result there.
That's it. For you and the team, obviously the past few years, been in the mix for promotion, and then the playoffs and promotion as well. Same goals this year, you would say?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to be right at the top of that table, fighting it out with other teams to try and get to League One. That's the ultimate goal. Again, like I say, we know how hard it's going to be. Most dressing rooms will be saying the same thing. So we need to just stick to what we're good at, keep practicing, keep getting better, and keep picking up results, and hopefully we can start well.
Season tickets are now on sale. They can get them on the Fanbase app. The women's team into the SWPL 1 this year for Spartans on a Saturday. What should the fans in the stand be looking forward to this year for Spartans?
Hopefully, an exciting team that's going to create a lot of chances, score lots of goals, hopefully, whilst with my centre-back head on keeping clean sheets and being good defensively. It sounds so boring, but that's going to be massive. Winning as many games as we can and picking up points and like I say, challenging at the top end of the table, which hopefully, fans, that's what you want. That's the excitement that comes with it.
That's it, and hopefully some great crowds like we had last season. Like 1,300 was a record in here, so definitely looking forward to all the Spartans fans coming through to that one. Ayrton, thank you for joining us, very much appreciated, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, let's end this week's podcast with a little bit on the Spartans development team, and Les Atkinson's under-20s are gearing up for their 11th Development League campaign, and the 2026-27 season gets underway with a journey into the unknown. Spartans kick off their new campaign on the 7th of August. It's a Friday night, of course, with a trip to one of the league's new clubs in Gallifreydine Rovers in what promises to be an intriguing opening fixture. The following Friday sees Spartans without a game after Kelty Hearts' late withdrawal from the league, but the quick action league resumes with a visit to Bonnyrigg Rose before a busy opening month comes to a close as Linlithgow Rose make the trip to Pilton. Supporters will become very familiar with the FK postcodes this season as newcomers East Stirlingshire and Dunipace join the Development League alongside familiar opponents Stirling Albion and Stirling University. One fixture already catching the eye comes in early October when Spartans host near neighbours Civil Service Strollers. It will be the first North Edinburgh derby at under 20 level since 2022. The 28-game league campaign, the biggest since the 21-22 season, draws to a close on May the 14th with Spartans welcoming Trinent to return to the competition after a year away. You can find the full fixtures list online, and remember, admission to all home matches is by donation. Find more at www.spartansfc.com. So that's it for this week's edition of the Spartan Army Podcast, proudly brought to you by Jafs Decorating Services. We look forward to seeing you this weekend at Galabank, then here at the Vanlock Community Stadium as Spartans take on Bunnymere Thistle in the Sky Sports Cup. From everyone here at the Spartans Football Club, whatever you're doing this weekend, it's one the Spartans.